can you introduce yourself and briefly summarise your research on Malawi's assistive technology ecosystem?
My name is Dr. George Kayange. I just completed my PhD at Loughborough University London, focused on assistive technology ecosystem in Malawi. So basically, I've been researching assistive technology ecosystem in Southern Africa, but mainly focused on Malawi as a case study. So in terms of the research, I'm just looking at what works and doesn't work within the ecosystem of assistive technology innovations in Southern Africa, mainly Malawi.
What were the most significant findings about access, repair and availability?
The significant findings were to do with issues of funding, issues of capacity. There are very few people who've been trained to do repair for assistive technology in Malawi. So issues of awareness as well, because they're also linked to issues of repair, because if people are not aware, if they're not sensitized about the need for assistive technology as well as repair, then it's difficult to maintain repair of assistive technology.
How do these insights connect participation in parasports and physical activity?
It does, because what that means is that there's going to be low turnout of athletes with disabilities that want to participate in parasport. So when it comes to issues of stigma, one of the issues that my research also focused on was how this interplays with culture. So there's a strong correlation between the culture within the country, as well as the attitudes and the stigma. So so ultimately it affects the levels of participation in parasport at that higher level.
What system level improvements do you believe are most urgent or most feasible?
One of them is to do with there are actually two aspects. There's the issue of funding, and then there's issue of policy. So with weak policies, it's hard to increase funding, because that funding needs to be supported by policy statements, within at that level. So first of all is to improve the policies related to disability as well as the parasport. However, the good news is that there's been some significant progress lately, because we've seen that last year or this year we've had a new act, that has come into place in Malawi, and then we've also had a new policy, disability policy, that has been it was there, but it's been revised. So we have a new policy that is there. So maybe it might be too early to judge in terms of the effectiveness, because these are new policies that are trying to strengthen the systems which earlier were not supported by policies. So this gives us hope, that can, that can ultimately impact maybe an increase in the number of people as well as quality of participation for athletes with disabilities in parasport in Malawi.
Where do you see potential alignment between your work and the sport ecosystem?
There's a lot of alignment, because both for me, even though it was not parasport, but it was about assistive technology innovations. In parasport, we also need innovations. And one of the biggest challenges that we see when it comes to assistive technology in Malawi, and not just in Malawi, but most countries in the region, is that most of the assistive technology are imported. They're not manufactured locally, and this has been like one of the biggest concerns with all the informats that I had, to say there's no local manufacturing, which makes it access to assistive technology is so difficult, because once it's imported, it's so expensive. That's number one. Number two, some of the assistive technology that are imported might not be conducive to the environment, the local environment that is there. But when we manufacture on our own, it might be easier. So if there is increased capacity to manufacture, enabled by the new policies that we're talking about and the Act, which encourages local manufacturing, if we see that increase, it means it's also going to